this story about this lady. And this was in the mid-50s. Really, when the power of God was moving with those evangelists during that day, tent meetings and healing meetings. And she was a member of one large church in her community. I mean, it was a cathedral. It was great. It was beautiful, much larger than this. And her husband was a cancer surgeon. He was the best in the nation, the most renowned cancer surgeon in the nation. And he had helped many along the way. But then the time came when his wife was taken with cancer. His son was a physician as well. They called for other physicians to come and examine her. He was in no shape to do it himself, to perform surgery himself on his own wife. They did all that they had to do. They examined her. They did all the tests. They got him in their office and said, look, you know more than we know. There's nothing we can tell you that you don't already know. But there's nothing we can do for your wife. She will die. So that was the news they had. A few days later, she picked up the paper. She was looking through the paper and she saw in the paper, Holy Ghost tent revival. She had never heard that in all her life. It said healings, miracles, come and see. She had never been taught about healings and never been taught about miracles. She thought, what in the world is this? So she got the directions out of the newspaper. She got in her car and she rode and rode and rode to the meeting. It was all the way across town. Boy, it looked like it was the rough part of town, and she thought for a moment, am I doing the right thing? Should I turn around and go back? But someone kept telling her, no, go to that meeting. So she went to that meeting and went inside that tent meeting and sat somewhere in the back. Sometime during the service, while the preacher was preaching his message, he went back where she was. He said, ma'am, is there anything I can do for you? And like most of us with that stubborn will, she said, no, I'm okay. He said, ma'am, do you need to be saved? Oh, that was the wrong thing to say then. As far as she was concerned, she was already saved. He just made her good and mad. She got up and stormed out of that place. She said, I'll never go back again. Went on back home. The next day come, and it was almost time for the meeting to start, and someone kept saying, go back, go back. She told her, no, I'm not going back. I'm not going back to be made ridiculed and made fun of. But someone said, go back. She found herself back in her car and back across town. And she went back in that meeting. The preacher preached again, and he went where she was. And she said, is there anything I can do for you? And she said, I need a healing. Now she still wouldn't admit she needed salvation. She said, I need a healing. He laid his hand on her forehead. He prayed for her. God saved her that night and healed her instantaneously. She went back home, didn't know exactly how to explain it to her husband, but she said this. She said, I'm healed and I don't need surgery. And of course he said, oh yes you do. And they kept debating, should she have surgery or not. 2 weeks later she was filled with the Holy Ghost. She kept saying, I don't need surgery, I'm okay. He said, oh yes you do, and you're having surgery. So they took her into the hospital, went into the surgery room, and the doctors went in and opened her up, and to their surprise the tumor was gone. They went back out and told her husband, I don't know how to say this, I thank God for my inheritance, because there's coming a time when I will inherit eternal life. There's coming a time when I will inherit a crown of righteousness and lay this old armor down and put on a white robe. That's my inheritance. And I dare not let anyone, any devil, any demon take my inheritance. I've asked Bonnie to come say thanks. We give you thanks. A couple college boys were renting an apartment. They had just started the new semester in college. They had never been on their own. A little skittish, little frightened of new people. One morning a knock came on the door. One of the fellows opened the door and just kind of peeked out. Old man with a gray beard. His hair kind of rough looking. His clothes didn't match. He even had two different shoes on. In his hand was a wicker basket with fruit. That's how he made his living, going from door to door, selling his fruit. He asked the boys, would they buy some of his fruit? Well, they bought the fruit because of fear and just wanted to brush him off and get him away. Wasn't sure what kind of person he was. His eyes were a little glassy. Well, the man kept coming back. He knocked on the door and they buy his fruit. They got to know him. He was a wonderful person, and there'd be times he'd come in and sit and talk with them. He'd pull his harmonica out. He'd blow a few gospel tunes, and in between his songs he'd talk about his vegetables, his fruit, and talk about the goodness of the Lord. He'd come in with his clothes that didn't match, torn, tattered, and his two different shoes. He came by one morning and he said, boys, I got something to tell you. He said, the Lord is good. The Lord is good. Yeah, the Lord is good, they said. He said, this morning I got up and I walked out on the porch. And on the porch were two bags. One bag filled with shoes and one bag filled with clothes. Those boys said, man, Mr. Bob, that's wonderful. He said, you know what's more wonderful than that? Just yesterday I met some people that can really use this. That's what giving thanks is all about. That's what being thankful is all about. We stand and sing it with us, and if the Lord